So let's go back to the team builder and see what covers what. So a good idea to go with in Little Cup is using bulky offense, just because it can do a lot of damage while still being able to take hits. So I'm just going to load up 6 Pokemon, and we're just going to see what we can do to counter those Pokemon that you saw before. Can't spell Lily, apparently. I'm just going to go cycle through the Pokemon right here just to see what Mons I have to look out for and which I could actually use on my team. Dwell's not bad. Alright, so we have our 6 Pokemon, and now we have to cover our bases. So I'm just going to set everyone to level 5. Let's take a look at that threat list. Alright, for offensive threats, some of the big ones are definitely Clamperl, definitely Chinchou, definitely Scraggy, definitely Mienfoo, and I'm just going to put stars next to them, just to indicate that they're big threats. And that usually means that you should have at least 2 checks to them, just because they'll be able to rip through teams if you don't. So first check is to Chinchou. Let's see what we can do here. Lily's usually the best, or one of the best, if not the best, check, if not counter, to Chinchou. And I'm using Giga Drain here over Energy Ball, just because Giga Drain's going to heal myself. And I'm pretty sure that Energy Ball doesn't get any KOs that Giga Drain wouldn't, even though I have Recover here just for additional healing. Gotta make sure to change it to Fire. The drop in IVs for special attack and speed don't really matter, just because the special defense, and HP work out actually really nicely. So you can get it to, you can maximize them, and it will come out so you have like 2 EVs left. Yep. Okay, so we have a check to Chinchou. We also probably have some checks to other Pokemon in here too. I just don't want to go through it yet. What's next? Clamperl. Clamperl is a big threat, because after a Shell Smash you can just rip through teams. Thankfully, Tailo can outspeed it with the Choice Scarf, and can Ochko with Brave Bird. And Adamant Nature here is preferred, just so we can get that extra point to attack, so it can deal more damage to Clamperl, and we'll make sure that it's always going to be an Ochko if it has Deep Sea Tooth after use your Shell Smash. So that's another good thing to have. Talos also functions as a good scout, and since it has Brave Bird, it's also a natural check to Scraggy and Mienfoo. Alright, who do we have next? Let's go back to the lead with Dwebble. Dwebble can do a lot of things. This time I'm actually going to give it Stealth Rock instead of Shell Smash, just because my team looks like it would need it more than just a random sweeper that could potentially do a lot of damage, but it misses out on important KOs even after +2. So there's really, that should be Rock Blast actually. There's really no point in running Shell Smash if someone's just going to throw out like a Mienfoo just to stall it out and then send someone with Sucker Punch or something. Bug Bite. Spikes. I'm pretty sure that Dwebble's EVs also work out. That it only has 2 remaining. I think the last one goes in HP. Yes. Alright, so we got half our team done. All we're missing now is Mienfoo, Ghastly, and Chinchou. Dwebble's also a good check to Snover, just because it outspeeds it unless it's running a Choice Scarf, and can KO with Rock Blast. It also takes neutral from Brave Bird and resists Frustration or Facade or Quick Attack, so it can also beat Tailo. Ponyta isn't really common. It can also beat it with Rock Blast. I don't see it a lot. Houndour outspeeds it, but because of Sturdy, it can't KO. So Dwebble can act as a check. It also breaks through its substitutes with Rock Blast. It's just a cool Pokemon in general. Okay, I'm seeing a lack of ways of taking out Drillbur, and Sandstorm teams can always be troublesome. So I'm going to come back to Chinchou for now and go right to Mienfoo. Regenerator is a great ability on Mienfoo, just because it can switch out and restore 33% of its health, and U-turn makes it for an amazing scout. It also has pretty nice defenses, and can inflict a lot of damage because of its huge attack. So Fake Out's also great for scouting. Drain Punch is a strong attack and lets it heal itself. And Payback's just there for ghost types, so Pokemon like Ghastly don't get free substitute in its face. So you always need 17 HP speed, just so it can tie with Timid Chinchou and Modest Ghastly, although I don't see a lot of Ghastly running Modest. And then 76 HP and then 36 defense, just so it can like take hits from unboosted Scraggy and other Mienfoo and Krogunk and whatnot. So technically Mienfoo is a check to Scraggy before Dragon Dance, so I'm just gonna put that there. It beats Snover. It beats fighting types always fare well against Stunky, so there's no real big deal there. Porygon, I don't know if anyone even uses Porygon except for like Vader. Magnemite, it can do damage with Thunderbolt, but I mean, it's not that common. Same thing with Meowth and Return, but again, uncommon. Doduo isn't really used, but I mean, I guess Chinchou can like wall its Brave Bird, or not even wall, just sponge it. Sponge a hit, kill with Thunderbolt. Back to the team builder. Okay, now it's time for Chinchou. I need something that can hit hard while still be able to take damage, and that's great about Chinchou. Its special defense is it's pretty high even without any investment. And it hits 17 speed, but I'm only giving it 16 just because I need the extra special attack, which is always nice. And the rest should be able to go to defense after I put in HP Grass. For other Chinchou, because my team looks a little weak to it right now, even with Lileep. Scraggy could set up pretty much on Lileep, and if Tailo goes down because of Stealth Rock, I could be in big trouble. So Thunderbolt's a great stab, so is Hydro Pump. Gets great coverage. Hidden Power, obviously. And then I'm going to go with Substitute, just because it can set up on like Pokemon like Staryu and other Pokemon that use weak attacks that don't get boosts. Okay, now we have Ghastly, and it's the last member on our team. I'm going to Timid Nature is always a necessity for Ghastly, just so it can hit 18 speed. It misses the 19 speed benchmark by just a point, but it can still do some pretty big damage since it has pretty much the highest unboosted special attack in the game, next to like Colossus and Abra, which no one uses because, well, they suck. So I'm going to give it an Eviolite, just so it can take attacks better and then put stuff to sleep, because otherwise it would just switch in, get hit by like a bullet punch or something, and then die. This way it can like avoid 2 HKOs from attacks and actually live to put up Hypnosis and then inflict a lot of damage. Some people like Oranberry, but for all intents and purposes, Eviolite works just fine. It doesn't get KO'd by +2 Drillbur, which is great, and it can KO back with Shadow Ball. So Ghastly checks Drillbur to an extent, but it has to make sure that it doesn't have Night Slash or have Stealth Wreck up, otherwise it's a goner. And also Mienfoo does a good job of stopping it, but again, if it gets a Swords Dance in, it's pretty much game over for this team. Needs more priority, I have to say. If there isn't Stealth Wreck up and Dwebbles at full health, it could KO with like Bug Bite, since apparently Bug hits ground for neutral. Elekid people really don't use, but Chinchou does a good job against it. Dratini, I don't know. Mienfoo maybe, Dwebble maybe, but I mean, if it gets a it doesn't really have time to set up Dragon Dance, because like unless it's against Chinchou, it just won't be able to switch in. So I'm gonna say not a threat. Darumaka, no one uses. No one likes you. Timber, I have Talo for. Vullaby, I don't see people using Vullaby. I guess it could use like Brave Bird and stuff, but Chinchou beats it. And why not? Why not's tricky, because you're probably going to lose something. But if I use Mienfoo to Ghastly, then counter won't do anything to Mienfoo. I mean to Ghastly after I U-turn out, and then I can just put it to sleep and do whatever.